Good morning, YouTubers. It's May the 10th of 2024, and it is Mother's Day this morning. Beautiful day, and just wishing all the mothers out there who happen to be watching the channel, happy Mother's Day. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of a walk around here, what I got set up here that's going to happen here to extract this engine out of the Army Cat. As you can see, the Clark is out just ahead of the radiator of the Army Cat. Forks up there close together. I'm going to put a soft strap around the front of the radiator here first. I'm going to pick up that whole front end high enough to remove, if we can get past the shadows here, remove the big main spring underneath the oil pan of this engine. And once that's removed, I'll run a second strap around that area coming up and across the forks up here, and that's going to suspend that engine. And then this happens to be a Letourneau design build. It's tilted up backwards here, this whole frame, resting on the rear end of the Cat. And from that point up there, I'm going to run my little portable hand crank winch with the chain around the transmission case here in this area, and that'll hold the back end up. And once I get it balancing and trying to slide away from the dowel pins between the transmission case and the bell housing, I'll just pull this rear end back. The Clark and the engine will stay in position there, but the rear end of the Cat will be pulled back, and then we will remove that flywheel and install the new one. Leaning on the old hydraulic press stand here is the alternate flywheel. I got it buffed up quite a bit, removed the bearing in the middle, and I got a lifting eye down there that I can attach a chain to and pick it up and put it in place on the engine. I also reworked these grease fittings. This one was missing and plugged up with dirt, so I got that renewed and pumped the whole that drilled hole out, and I've got fresh grease coming out the rear of the flywheel. So that's ready to get back on the engine. I got this old D315 engine sitting on temporary blocks, and I just put the head on in place with there's no gasket, but I put diesel fuel in the pistons and put the head on, and I tightened down all these injector lines, in an attempt to stop the degradation of the engine any further. And in here of the injector pump, it was dry, so I just filled it right up with diesel fuel. And at the back here is the end of the crankshaft, missing, of course, the flywheel. We'll put the old flywheel just hanging on there, just keep it in so it just doesn't get tossed around and discarded. Somebody wants a flywheel that has a good ring gear or something, I guess. Could put that on here, and but you never know. I might at a later time just take a closer look at what's wrong with this engine, and if it comes free, you never know, we might find some parts and get it running, or I might achieve, or not achieve, but locate a newer D4 out of the early 50s that would take this engine that needs parts. So just going to kind of try to keep this thing from degrading any further. So anyway, let's see if we can get on this extraction of the engine. There were only 2 bolts out of 6 that were in this casting holding the bell housing to the transmission. I don't think Letourneau could have foreseen in the future that their framework would be a great sort of a makeshift crane for when you're pulling the engine out of these cats. I'm using that framework and my hand winch to just support the casing of the transmission as I pull it back. Pretty tough nut here. Big crescent and a snipe. I think we got her broke. It's kind of oily. I don't know why it's so tight. Of course, I seem to have cut myself open, but that's normal. Moving on to the spring retaining system there, which includes this seized up cotter pin and a roller and a shaft, and it's all seized up. Trying to punch that cotter pin out of there was pretty futile. Ended up grinding it off with the angle grinder. Well, first heating it and then grinding it off, and it finally got that part done. Heated up that roller, and it still wouldn't break free of the shaft. It was stuck on there pretty good, so I'm going to continue with several more heat cycles and trying to work it. Otherwise, we'll just grind off the pin both ends and pull that roller out and deal with the stuck pin at a later time. There comes a time in all these teardowns when you're just going to have to give up on all that manual effort and get out the blue wrench. So I ended up cutting the nut right off that big mounting bolt, both sides. And if we sweep in here, that hold back pin retainer roller, I cut both ends of the rods off, or the pins off, and recovered those. So I'll have to at a later time press the pins out of those roller retainers. That's what's left of the nuts that was they were just frozen on there so bad. I tried heating them a couple times and backing them off, but they eventually come to a screeching halt. I think they were just binding up on the thread. So out with a blue wrench. Okay, now we can move ahead and pick this machine up and get rid of that mainspring down there. So far so good. She's going up. I might have to persuade those bolts to go down through the oil pan and block. Far side is dropping out. I just got to get this one to go down. Well, both sides are out, so they're pretty froze up and rusted there, but we got them hammered out of there. I wasn't too worried about saving any of those threads because I already torched the sides off them a little bit, so somehow or another we'll have to replace those bolts or whatever. I think what I'm going to get you to do, Phil, is you can come to this side and hold this bar down, and somehow or another I'm going to take the small bar and push it this way, but this here end of the spring needs to clear here.
Okay.
So I'll just go over there and give her a little push. Okay, we'll try it again.
All right.
Ready? Can you let it down, any?
As soon as I let it down, the chain gets in there. But give her a try.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go up higher. Wiggle.
Yeah.
There.
There she goes.
There she is. Okay, we've got a bit of weight on the winch on the A-frame here. So now I'll just get my second strap in underneath the belly, or the oil pan. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm just going to put a little pressure on this strap by tilting the forks back. All the bolts are out of between the transmission case and the bell housing, so hopefully this is going to work out all right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's moving.
Just give me some escape room, because if that thing goes flying, I need to back up quick. No, he's having us both piled up.
Yeah. Somebody phone. Holy shit. That was easy.
I can feel the flywheel is loose too. I got the bolts out, hey, so.
Yeah.
what I've done here is I put a paint mark on the bolt and the flywheel and the bell housing to mark the orientation. We can transfer that to the other flywheel, but it wouldn't matter one way or another. It would still run fine the way it is, like at a time. But if somebody's doing some timing work later on in the future, it would be a little confusing. Without coming onto my feet. That's why I couldn't turn it. It was locked.
Oh, on there, yeah.
Bad gear into the pinion.
Yeah.
There it is. Right flat onto the ground. Some confirmation marks are here. They got, well, they got a number 4 or an A. I think it's 4 there. And this line, scribe mark on the end of the crankshaft, that'll match the scribe mark on the flywheel. So if we put that together like that, matching up those marks, I think she'll be all right, good to go. Man, and there's some bits and pieces in here. They're old broken springs, whatnot. We got to clean all that crap out of there and wash her down really good before you get the other flywheel in there. Okay, that's all we wanted to do is get this thing split, get that flywheel off, and now we'll just start cleaning up there. Thanks to Phil and the old Case D, everything come together. We'll catch up to you later on the next one. Bye for now. I don't often drink Mexican beer, but when I do, it's Dos Equis. Cheers.